there, I'm going to be showing you today of how to make a nice little vector swirl in Adobe Illustrator. So I'm using an Illustrator CS3. It is doable in CS or CS2, but neither of those versions have the eraser tool, so it does make it a little bit more tricky, but one day I will make a video of how to compromise in those versions. So I'm going to start out by making a basic RGB document with a size of 640 by 480 and landscape orientation. Click OK. And here I am. I'm just going to go ahead and zoom out here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and get my spiral tool. It should be hiding underneath the line segment tool. And go ahead and make a nice little spiral. Now after I got my spiral, I'm going to hit Command C, then Command F. And what that will do is grab my spiral and then paste another spiral, exact width and size and everything, on top of it. That's what Command F is for, and I'm sure every computer user who knows anything about computers should know that Command C copies it. So now if I look down here in my layers palette, you can see I have two paths. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab my selection tool, hotkey is V, and hold down Option and Shift, or Alt and Shift if you're on Windows, and drag down, and it will drag my second spiral down, and I can go ahead and reposition that as I like. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here, hit my Z key, zoom right in there, and I can fix this up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my direct selection tool, hotkey is A, and grab this anchor point here and drag it, oops, excuse me, and go ahead and drag that in to make it look nice. And I can get my direct selection tool again, highlight both the anchor points, and do Command J to join them into one single path. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out and in. Now get my eraser tool, hotkey is Shift E, and what I'm going to do is while holding the Shift key, I'm going to drag down on my spiral here. Make sure that's nice to make it even. As you can see, it wasn't before. And then I can get my direct selection tool again, hotkey is A, and do Command J to join those into one. So now what I'm going to do is get my selection tool, hotkey is V, and hit the double-headed arrow down here and swatch the fill and stroke to fill in my swirl. Go ahead, move that over here, and make sure if you do scale this down that you hold the Shift key while you do it, or else it will warp and look awful. So now I'm going to go ahead and press P for my pen tool, and from about the lower left hand corner, as you can see where I'm starting, click, and then drag across by holding the Shift key to keep it nice and straight. Do about the middle of the document. And then I'm going to go ahead and click up here, and by holding Shift, drag across to shape my vine. Or this is a line, by the way, I haven't really told you that yet. And then you should get this nice looking figure 8. So I'm going to go ahead and click the double-headed arrow here to swap the fill and stroke to make it just just the stroke. And I'm going to do Command C and then Command F. Again, that will copy it, then paste it on front. And hold down the right arrow key to drag the second version of the vine over so I can get my desired thickness. Once I have that, I can go ahead and zoom in down here and get my direct selection tool, hotkey is A, drag across, Command J to join that path into one, zoom back out. For the record, if you double click on the hand tool, oops. For the record, if you double click on the hand tool, it'll zoom me back out. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here and get my direct selection tool. Command J. And now I'm going to hit my double-headed arrow to get my vine. So as you can see, I have currently got, sorry, I'm having some problems with my Illustrator. Okay, so basically what's happened is I've got both the swirl and a vine. So now I'm going to have to duplicate the swirl. So I'll highlight with my selection tool, go Object, Transform, Reflect, and then, oh, I'm sorry, I have to, my mistake. So, Control Copy, Control Paste on front, which is F, and then Object, Transform, Reflect on a horizontal axis. Click OK, and you should get this, a second version of your, expose, a second version of your swirl. So now I'm going to go ahead and just kind of play with it a bit, scale it down, and make it nice. Now I'm going to go ahead and drag it onto there. Now I'm going to do that with the other one. Scale it down just as I want it. Maybe a little bit bigger than that. And there we go. Now as you can see, I have these stupid things poking out, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over my layers palette and lock the path of the actual vine. Just press the little bit the next square over to the eyeball. And the eyeball triggers whether it's there or not. Just press the lock. Now I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this. Oops, so for some reason my hotkeys aren't working. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on this. And then get my eraser tool, Shift E. And then just kind of rub this out with my eraser tool. Now the good thing about locking that is, see, it looks like I'm digging into the vine here, but as soon as I let go, it'll spring back. Now if I were using Illustrator CS2, which doesn't have the eraser tool, I could get my scissors tool and then just snip off that part of the vine. Not the vine, sorry, the leaf type things that are springing out here. And as I zoom back out, you can see I've made this nice swirl. And I hope you enjoyed this video.